It's just after 3 o'clock on June the 15th. Tomorrow's Youth Day in South Africa, and it's a public holiday. And I'm parking off here in my car once again, just waiting for my son. So while I'm waiting, I thought I'd give some feedback on the whole Discovery Health Medical Scheme election process. And about 3-4 months ago, I was nominated as a trustee, and I decided to take up the nomination, and I submitted all my information to Discovery and went for fingerprints and all kinds of verification. And then it came up to the point where I got accepted, and a whole number of other candidates also got accepted, and we were all now standing for election. So before anybody knew about this, obviously, they had to be invited to the AGM of Discovery Health Medical Scheme, and where they would nominate or elect new trustees on the medical scheme. So the rules of the scheme state that, there's independent trustees that are to be appointed, and this is why I'm standing for election, because I'm part of that process now. So essentially, a whole lot of us, quite a number of candidates, we joined an induction session with Deloitte about 3 weeks back or so. And so around the time when the notice of the AGM was going out, and a list of all the candidates were there, and it's like, wow, there's quite a lot of candidates up for election. And essentially it's, well, I'm up for election. Now what? Because it's pointless being up for election and you don't have anybody voting for you. So what are the chances? So I didn't know what this all entails from a medical scheme perspective. I know very well what it means to be a trustee. I've trained trustees. I've advised trustees. I've guided them, in terms of governance and compliance and King 4 and all of that. So, it's a duty of good faith. You basically acting on behalf of all the other members in their interests and all kinds of things. So, so I had to sort of think about it. Well, look, I don't want to go and broadcast this to everybody willy-nilly to say, hey, vote for me. Even if you don't know me, just give me your vote. So essentially those that could vote would be the ones that attended the AGM on the 23rd of June. Or if you provide somebody with a proxy, so you're not allowed to, or you cannot attend the meeting, so you give your proxy to somebody else and essentially allow them to vote on your behalf. So I came across a lady who wanted to vote for me, and she got a response from somebody else, one of the other candidates, and she says, but Carol, I want to vote for you, so please send me your details. And I thought, well, look, how am I going to do this? How am I going to campaign? Like I'm campaigning for presidency or something. So I decided to design this little Canva flyer, and which I did, and it said, vote for me, or attend the AGM, and if you can't, provide me with a proxy, and all kinds of things. And it's very short and sweet. I didn't want it to be too, how can I say, too full of detail that people were just like, oh, this is just too much. I decided to just draft an email, and I took everything that was put in the email from Deloitte onto my email just to transpose it into nice sort of a campaign. I would love your support and but these are all the details, and with links and all kinds of things. And then I started sending it out to people who I knew, who knew me. And then I sent it out on WhatsApp. So this was a matter of a day or two, and I started getting responses. And then just after a few days, this is essentially where I got my first proxy. And it's like, and I didn't know what to expect. So people didn't want to attend the meeting. They said, no, I'm quite happy for you to, for you to be my proxy at the meeting and vote on my behalf, and obviously vote for yourself as a trustee. And so eventually through this whole process, I got quite a number of proxies because people didn't want to attend the meeting. And and it was a long process. So those people who provided me with a proxy, they had to go through quite an arduous process where they had to, so that this was the rules of this, of a proxy. And they had to personally request a proxy form from Deloitte, so from the independent auditor. So whether they called or whether they emailed, once they got this proxy form, which was uniquely barcoded to their principal member number, they got the proxy, they print out the proxy, they hand print all their details on the proxy and my details. So I had to provide them with my personal details. They had to sign it, they had to scan it in, send it to me on email. Some of them actually sent it on WhatsApp, which was perfect. I could still print it out. I printed it out, I signed it, I scanned it, sent it back to them so that they could submit it to Deloitte. So quite a process. So anybody who has actually gone through this with me understands the tediousness of this whole process, but that they actually took time to support me, to do all of this with me, who could see that I would actually be able to add value as a trustee on Discovery Health Medical Scheme. And I truly appreciate each and every single one who's done this with me. We just wait until the 23rd of June, until the AGM. And tomorrow is the closing date for the proxies. So that's 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So all the proxies that are received by then, can still be counted. And otherwise, I think up until the 17th of June, people can still register to attend the AGM. It's a long agenda. It's not just about voting trustees. It's about the financials and the report by the principal officer, and so what's actually going on the fund. It's a board meeting essentially, and all principal members are invited to attend the meeting. And hope to see you there, and I will give you feedback following the AGM. And just thank you to everyone